let's look at straight line graphs, parallel and perpendicular lines. So parallel lines have the same gradient, and perpendicular lines, you need to use this equation, m1 times m2 is equal to -1. So it's the gradient of one graph times the gradient of another graph, and that should give you -1. If it gives you -1, then the lines are perpendicular to each other. So we're given our first one here, y is equal to 3x plus 4. The gradient there we know from y is equal to mx plus c. Your m is your gradient, which makes your gradient equal to 3 there. The next one, find the gradient of a new line parallel to y is equal to -12 x plus 4. So the word parallel we know means same gradient. So the gradient is -12 in the equation that they gave us. So the gradient of the new line should also be -12. Let's find the next one, the gradient of a new line perpendicular to this graph here, y is equal to 5x plus 3. So for perpendicular, we know we need to use this equation here. m1 times m2 is equal to -1. So the gradient of my first graph from this equation is +5. So the gradient of the new line, we need to work this out. So m1 times m2 is equal to -1 here. The gradient of my first graph is +5, so I substitute that into the equation. So 5 times m2 should equal to -1. If I want to work out m2, I need to divide by this 5. So m2 is equal to -1 divided by 5, which is -1 over 5. And that is the gradient of the new line. Let's now look at special lines. So these are straight line graphs as well. The first one we have here is y is equal to 3. Now there's no y equals mx plus c here, it's just y is equal to 3. So all you do here is you find 3 on the y-axis, which is here, and you draw a line going straight through 3, and that needs to be parallel to the x-axis, and that's the graph of y is equal to 3. The next one here, x is equal to 2. Again, there's no y is equal to mx plus c, but it is a straight line graph, so x equals 2 on the x-axis. You need to find 2, which is here, and you need to draw a line that goes straight through 2, which is this line here, and this needs to be parallel to the y-axis. So those are your special straight line graphs.